Hey, Bridgepoint, I'm so excited to kick off the 40 days of prayer and fasting journey with you as we work to ensure that we're on the same wavelength as God. And really what we're doing over these next 40 days is we are going to focus on the cross. We're going to focus on the grave and what that means for us. And so each week we're going to look at a portrait of who we see that Jesus is on the cross. That portrait, I believe, can drive our prayer time and really can drive our fasting. And so before we jump in, I want to just invite and encourage us to spend some time this week in self-examination. A great place to start is Psalm 139. It's believed to be written by King David. And one of the things that makes it so powerful, and you'll see this as you read it, is it focuses on three things of God. One is that God's all-knowing. Which allows us to realize that we might as well be completely transparent because he already sees us. But also that God is everywhere present, that in our highest highs and our lowest lows, God's there with us. And then it concludes with the fact of talking about the fact that God is personal and that he knows us intimately down to the hairs on our head. And so that drives us to a place of worship. And so this week, after examining ourselves, I want us to focus on Jesus as a servant. Man, there's no greater picture of his servanthood than him giving his life. And right before he does that, in John 13, he washes his disciples' feet. The ultimate mark of a servant. Feet were filthy in that day. And yet that's what he did. Paul tells us in Philippians 2 that he humbled himself, took on, it's actually, the Greek word is doulos. It's the lowest form of a servant that a person could embrace. And that's what Jesus did for me. That's what Jesus did for you. And so as we examine ourselves and we focus on Jesus as a servant, I'm reminded Mark 10:45, even the Son of Man, that's another name for Jesus, did not come to be served, but to serve and give his life as a ransom for us. So 3 areas that I want us to consider serving this week. One is within our family, our roommates, whoever we live with, look for ways to serve them. Sometimes it's the hardest place because we're always around them. The second thing is within our church. Our church has an army of people that are investing in what happens week in and week out. And you and I have an opportunity to be a part of that. I really believe we get the full church experience on a Sunday when we're serving. And then finally, just like bless, which we talk about all the time, begin with prayer, listen, eat. The fourth S is serve. We want to serve those closest to us and farthest from God. The reality is we might be the only Jesus that they ever see. So as you pray, as you fast this week, little steps, little rhythms are going to pay a tremendous dividend later down the road. I'm praying for you as you get started today, and I'm believing that God's going to do amazing things.